Welcome to English Speaking Corner, your quiet space to build real speaking confidence.
Today, we are going to break the one English habit that is secretly destroying your professional image.
Imagine this. It is 3 o'clock on a Tuesday. You just hit send on an important email to your manager. 5 seconds later, your stomach drops. You forgot the attachment. Do you immediately type, "I am so sorry, I made a huge mistake"?
I used to do exactly that. I thought saying sorry showed respect, but my manager actually pulled me aside and told me it just made me look panicked and unsure of myself.
In the next few minutes, put your headphones on because we will practice the exact phrases confident native speakers use to fix mistakes smoothly without ever saying sorry.
I have to say, this is one of the biggest light bulb moments I ever had in my career. When you learn English as a second language, you are taught to be polite above everything else. You learn please, you learn thank you, and you learn sorry. And you naturally think, the more I say sorry, the more polite and respectful I am being to my colleagues.
Exactly. You think you're showing respect for their time and their authority.
Right. I remember my first corporate office job. I was so incredibly nervous about my English. Every single time I made a tiny grammar mistake in an email, or if I sent a file 5 minutes past the deadline, I would write these long, emotional emails. I would say, "I am so sorry for the inconvenience. Please forgive my mistake. I apologize for this terrible error."
I can imagine. And how did your colleagues react to those messages?
Well, that's the interesting part. At first, I thought they would appreciate how humble I was, but my manager called me into his office one afternoon. I was terrified. I thought I was getting fired. But he sat me down and said, "Mark, you do great work, but every time you say sorry for something tiny, you remind me that you made a mistake. You are putting a giant spotlight on the error, and it makes you seem like you do not trust your own skills."
That is exactly why this topic is so important. We think we are showing respect, but we're actually showing insecurity. We're telling the other person, "Please look at my failure. Please comfort me. Please tell me it's okay." It creates a strange dynamic in the workplace.
Absolutely. It makes your manager feel like a parent, and it makes you look like a child who broke a window. But in a professional environment, you want to be seen as an equal. You want a peer-to-peer relationship. Even if someone is your boss, you are still two professional adults working together. Apologizing profusely lowers your professional status.
Exactly. And that is the cultural trap that so many language learners fall into. In many Eastern cultures or highly formal cultures, apologizing is a standard way to show humility and maintain harmony. But in Western corporate cultures, business moves incredibly fast. Managers do not want apologies, they want solutions. They prefer problem solvers over apologizers.
Oh, absolutely. They do not care that you feel bad. They just want the correct file so they can finish their work and go home.
Exactly. So today, we're going to help you shift your mindset and your vocabulary. We're going to replace defensive apologies with confident, solution-focused gratitude. We are going to change your sorry into a thank you.
I love this approach. It instantly changes the energy of the conversation.
Let us start with our first common workplace scenario, the minor error. This is exactly the situation we mentioned at the beginning of the episode. You send an email and you forget the attachment. Or maybe you send a meeting invitation and you accidentally select the wrong time zone. These are tiny, harmless mistakes, but they cause a lot of panic.
The wrong time zone mistake. I've done that so many times when scheduling international calls. My immediate reaction used to be, "I am so sorry for my stupid mistake. I'm an idiot. Please see the new time."
Which immediately makes the other person focus on the mistake. Instead, we want to acknowledge the error calmly and provide the fix. So if a colleague points out that you forgot the attachment, instead of saying, "I am sorry for the mistake," you're going to say, "Thank you for catching that. Here's the updated version."
Thank you for catching that. That sounds so incredibly confident. It sounds like you are completely in control of the situation.
Exactly. You are thanking them for their attention to detail, which makes them feel good. And then you're immediately handing them the solution. Let's break down the vocabulary here. Instead of using the word mistake, which sounds very heavy and negative, we can use a fantastic professional word, oversight.
Oversight. Now, when I first heard this word, I was quite confused because the word over usually means above and the word sight means seeing or vision. So it sounds like you are watching something very carefully. But that's not what it means in a business context, right?
You're totally right to be confused by that. It's a tricky word. An oversight is actually a small mistake you make because you simply didn't notice something. You weren't being lazy, you weren't doing a bad job, you just missed a tiny detail.
So forgetting to attach a PDF document is an oversight.
Yes, exactly. Or forgetting to copy someone on an email thread. It is a very gentle, professional way to say mistake. Mistake sounds like you failed. Oversight sounds like a perfectly normal human error that happens to smart people.
I love it. It takes all the guilt away. So you could say, thank you for catching that oversight.
Exactly. Now, let us practice this together. Remember, English Speaking Corner is your active, steady space. Do not just listen to us. You need to train your mouth to feel these confident words. I am going to say the phrase, and then I will pause. During the silence, I want you to say it out loud wherever you are. Let us try the first part. Thank you for catching that.
Take a deep breath and try to match Anna's calm, steady tone. Thank you for catching that.
Beautiful. Notice how my voice does not go up at the end. When we are nervous and apologizing, our pitch usually rises. We say, I am sorry. But when we are confident, our voice stays level. Let us try the second part. Here is the updated version.
Say it out loud with us. Here is the updated version.
Now, let us put it all together into one smooth, professional response. Thank you for catching that. Here is the updated version.
Say it one more time with absolute confidence. Thank you for catching that. Here is the updated version.
Excellent. You have just successfully handled a mistake without losing a single drop of professional credibility.
It feels so much better than typing a desperate apology. You're protecting your own energy and your professional brand.
If you are enjoying this quiet study space and you want to keep building your speaking confidence with us every single week, make sure to hit the subscribe button. It helps us keep creating these calm, practical lessons just for you.
Exactly. We absolutely love growing this community of confident English speakers all around the world. Now, let us move on to our second stressful workplace scenario, the late arrival.
Oh, this is a very common one. You're scheduled to join a team video call at 9 o'clock, but at 1 minute before 9, your computer decides to do a mandatory system update, or your internet router suddenly stops working.
There's nothing more stressful than watching that loading screen while you know your entire team is waiting for you in the virtual meeting room. Your heart is racing, you're clicking your mouse 100 times, you're sweating.
I can imagine. And then finally, at 5 minutes past 9, you connect to the call. Everyone is already there. They are chatting. And what do most language learners do in this exact moment?
They panic. They unmute their microphone immediately and yell, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I'm late. My computer was updating. My internet was broken. I'm so sorry to make you wait."
And what happens to the meeting when they do that?
It completely destroys the momentum. The entire room has to stop what they're doing. Everyone goes silent. And then your colleagues have to do the emotional work of comforting you. They have to smile and say, "Oh, it's okay, Mark. Do not worry about it. Technology happens." You've essentially forced the room to stop working just to make you feel better about your mistake.
That is such a brilliant way to explain it. A confident professional does not demand comfort from the room. They respect the room's time by taking control of the situation and moving forward instantly. So instead of saying, "I'm sorry I'm late," you are going to say, "Thank you for your patience. Let us get started."
Thank you for your patience. It completely flips the dynamic. Instead of focusing on my failure to be on time, I'm praising them for their good quality, which is patience. I'm making them feel respected.
Exactly. It's a subtle psychological shift, but it makes a massive difference in how people perceive your leadership skills. You walk into the room, you acknowledge the delay without groveling, and you instantly direct everyone's attention to the work. Let us practice the pronunciation of this phrase, because the word patience can be a little tricky.
Yes, the ending of that word has a soft sound, almost like an S and an H mixed together.
That's right, it's not patience, it's patience. Let us practice it slowly. I will say it, then you say it out loud. Thank you for your patience.
Speak it into the room right now. Thank you for your patience.
And now the action phrase. Let us get started.
Notice the strong downward inflection. Let us get started.
Perfect. Now imagine you're walking into that boardroom or logging into that video call. Your shoulders are back, you're breathing calmly. Say the whole phrase with me. Thank you for your patience. Let us get started.
One more time, out loud. Thank you for your patience. Let us get started.
That is the sound of a leader. You did not make excuses. You did not tell a long, boring story about your internet provider. You just took control of the moment.
Exactly. And that brings us perfectly to our third scenario. This one causes so much anxiety for non-native speakers, the late reply.
Oh yes, the heavy guilt of the unanswered email.
You open your inbox on a Thursday morning, and you see an email from a client or a colleague that you received on Monday. 3 whole days have passed.
And the terrible thing about email guilt is that every single day that passes makes it feel harder to reply. On Tuesday, it feels like a small delay. By Thursday, it feels like a massive failure.
Exactly. You sit at your keyboard and you feel like you have to write a novel explaining exactly why you were late. I am so sorry for the delay in my response. I have been incredibly busy with other projects. And then I was feeling a little sick and I had too many meetings.
Which once again sounds terribly defensive. It sounds like you are making up excuses, even if those reasons are completely true. It makes the other person feel like they were not important enough for your time.
Right. So how do we fix the slow email reply without apologizing?
We are going to use a beautiful advanced phrase. Instead of saying, sorry for the delay, you'll say, thank you for bearing with me. Here is the information you requested.
Thank you for bearing with me. When I first heard this phrase, I was picturing a large brown bear walking through the forest with me.
Love it. I can see why that would be confusing. English is full of strange idioms, but there are no animals involved here. The verb to bear, spelled B-E-A-R, has an older meaning. It means to carry a heavy weight or to endure a difficult situation. So when you say, bear with me, you are saying, thank you for enduring this delay. Thank you for carrying this waiting period with me.
That is actually quite poetic. It means, thank you for being patient while I handle this situation.
Exactly. It is a highly professional, polished phrase. It shows that you respect their time, but it does not make you sound weak. And to make this response even stronger, we can pair it with an excellent vocabulary word, rectify.
Rectify. That sounds very formal. What does it mean?
To rectify something simply means to fix it, to make something right. If a situation is broken or delayed, you take action to rectify it. So if you missed an important deadline, you could say, thank you for bearing with me while I rectify this situation.
That is so powerful. It says, yes, there is a delay, but I am actively working on the solution. I am not hiding. Let us practice this because the rhythm of bearing with me is so important.
Yes, the words link together very smoothly. It's not bear, pause, with, pause, me. It flows like water. Bearing with me. I will say the first part, and I want you to repeat it out loud. Thank you for bearing with me.
Say it out loud, nice and smooth. Thank you for bearing with me.
Now, let us add the solution. Here's the information you requested.
Keep your voice steady. Here is the information you requested.
Now, let us put it into a complete, confident email sentence. Speak it as you write it. Thank you for bearing with me. Here's the information you requested.
Excellent. You have just transformed a moment of intense guilt into a moment of calm professionalism.
Have you noticed the secret grammar pattern hiding inside all of these confident phrases? We have not called it a grammar lesson, but there is a very strict rule we are following here.
Yes, I noticed there is a very clear pattern. If you look closely at apologies, they're almost always trapped in the past tense.
Exactly. Think about it. I am sorry that I forgot. I apologize that I was late. I am sorry that I missed your message.
Right. When you use the past tense, you're actively dragging the listener backward into the past. You're forcing them to turn around and look at the bad thing that already happened. You're trapping the conversation in negative territory.
Exactly why this topic is so important. But look at our confident phrases. Thank you for your patience. Here's the updated file. Let's get started. I will rectify the situation.
They are all firmly in the present tense or the future tense.
Yes, confident speakers do not live in the past. You acknowledge the situation in the present moment with gratitude, and then you immediately point the conversation toward the future action. You drive the car forward.
I completely agree. It's a mindset shift disguised as a grammar rule. Let us look at one final scenario that really tests this rule: the misunderstanding.
Oh, this is a painful one. Your manager gives you a set of instructions for a new project. You listen, you nod, you think you understand. You spend 3 days working hard on the report. You hand it in, and your manager looks at it and says, "This is not what I asked for at all."
That is the ultimate gut punch. You feel so embarrassed. Your instinct is to say, "Oh no, I'm so sorry, I completely misunderstood you. I'm so stupid. I'm so sorry for wasting your time."
And again, what does that do? It makes your manager doubt your competence. It makes them wonder if they can trust you with the next project. It focuses purely on the failure in the past.
Right. When you use the past tense, you're actively dragging the listener backward into the past. You're forcing them to turn around and look at the bad thing that already happened. You're trapping the conversation in negative territory.
Exactly why this topic is so important. But look at our confident phrases. Thank you for your patience. Here is the updated file. Let's get started. I will rectify the situation.
They are all firmly in the present tense or the future tense.
Yes, confident speakers do not live in the past. You acknowledge the situation in the present moment with gratitude, and then you immediately point the conversation toward the
So how do we shift this to the present and future? How do we use gratitude instead of apology here?
We use the phrase, "Thank you for clarifying that. I will adjust the project and have it back to you tomorrow."
Thank you for clarifying that. That is brilliant. You are not saying, "You explained it badly," and you are not saying, "I listened badly." You are simply saying, "The picture is clear now, and I appreciate the new information."
Exactly. The word clarify is essential here. It means to make something clear, like wiping the dirt off a window so you can see through it. When you say, "Thank you for clarifying," you turn a mistake into a collaborative learning moment.
And then you follow it up with a strong future action. I will adjust the project. Adjust means to make small changes to fix something. You are not starting from zero, you are just tweaking it.
Let us practice this one because it requires a very open, positive tone of voice. If you sound angry, it will seem like you are blaming them. You need to sound genuinely appreciative. Listen to my melody. Thank you for clarifying that. Now you try.
Speak it with a light, positive energy. Thank you for clarifying that.
Now the action step. I will adjust the project.
Say it firmly. I will adjust the project.
Now let us do the whole phrase. Imagine your boss just corrected your work. Look them in the eye and say it out loud. Thank you for clarifying that. I will adjust the project.
Beautiful. You survived a very stressful moment, and you actually look smarter and more capable than before the mistake happened.
Now it's time for a quick challenge. At English Speaking Corner, we believe you cannot just listen to English, you have to feel it in your mouth. You have to train your brain to react under pressure.
We're going to test your new reflexes. Anna is going to give you a stressful workplace situation, and she will say the nervous, apologetic phrase.
During the short pause, I want you to speak out loud and transform my apology into a confident thank you statement. Do not worry about being perfect. Just focus on shifting from sorry to thank you. Ready? Here's the first one. You are 5 minutes late to a team meeting. You walk into the room. Instead of saying, "I'm so sorry I'm late," what should you say?
Speak your answer out loud right now.
If you said, "Thank you for your patience," or "Thank you for waiting," you did a fantastic job. Let us try another one. You sent an email with the wrong link. Your colleague replies and tells you the link is broken. Instead of saying, "I'm sorry for my mistake," what should you say?
Say your new confident phrase out loud.
Excellent. You should say, "Thank you for catching that. Here's the updated link." Or, "Thank you for letting me know. Here's the correct version."
Let's do one more. This is the hardest one. You took 4 days to reply to an important email from a client. Instead of writing, "Please accept my deepest apologies for the terrible delay in my response," what should you write? Speak your answer out loud. If you said, "Thank you for bearing with me," you absolutely nailed it. You were sounding like a true professional.
I am so proud of the work you did today. You did not just learn new vocabulary, you completely changed the way you present yourself to the world. Remember, everyone makes mistakes. Native speakers make mistakes all day long. They forget attachments, they show up late, they misunderstand instructions.
Exactly. The difference is not that their English is perfect. The difference is that they don't punish themselves with apologies. They acknowledge the reality, they say thank you, and they move forward.
Your challenge this week is simple. I want you to catch yourself before you type the word sorry in an email or before you say it in a meeting and actively replace it with thank you. Watch how people respond to you. You will be amazed at the difference.
We want to hear how you handle this. Think of a small mistake you made recently at work or in your daily life. How would you fix it using our thank you formula instead of saying sorry? Practice writing your new confident sentence in the comments down below. We read every single one.
To keep building your professional vocabulary and your speaking confidence, click the video on your screen to learn the best phrases for polite workplace greetings. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and we'll see you in the next episode.